All right, looks like we're now live and good to go. How is everyone's day going so far? Again, guys, apologies for the delayed start today. We had a little bit of a meeting going down, discussing a few things, new future projects and what have you, and went a little longer than we had initially intended. So I want to give a big apologies for that. If you guys haven't already, make sure to share this around with as many people as possible. I know we got a little fewer viewers right now, just because, again, due to the late start. So, again, do apologies for that. But again, I wanted to go ahead and let everyone know that I appreciate every single one of your views. If you haven't already, make sure to leave a like on this stream and share this around with as many people as possible. Yeah, again, turn up. Yeah, we can turn up. I'll turn the volume up even more. Late stream start, Fish Stickum? Yes, we did, dude. I did apologize. It was a big meeting that we had. It was nothing bad. It was actually like some good stuff. Just, again, more projects and stuff in the future. Things we wanted to discuss moving forward. Yeah, we completely lost track of time. Just completely lost track of time. Cozy Report, good to see you. RGK, good to see you. Good to see you as well. Zubenel Fish Stickum. By the way, RGK again confirmed our coupon code RGK for the win, by the way. As long as it's not a already discounted item, you should be good to use. Thank you, Mr. Boxes as well. Prime Tech Custom, good to see you. So Crazy J, DJ, Straight Up Raw, hello, good to see you guys as well. I'm gonna go get right into it. I'm gonna get started. Just gonna completely raw dog it right now. Yeah, I don't know if you guys were on the Discord server. Hopefully you guys were, because Bossman threw up a little promotion during Sunday, or if you guys followed suit, if you guys were on the Discord server, you guys would know exactly what it is that I'm talking about, right? The Discord server is a great place to be if you guys wanted to be able to, get the know-how and what's going on, get the behind-the-scenes exclusive action as to all the plans, ETAs for certain products and stuff. Then yeah, I would say that's definitely a place to go, especially because, again, we do like to throw in extra promotions just for you guys as well. Things for you to increase your odds of winning these shopping spree. And again, this week is a guaranteed shopping spree giveaway. Again, $1,000 are on the line. $1,000 is absolutely fucking nuts. And I would highly encourage every single one of you guys to get involved right now. Like the banner to my left suggests, every $50 you spend will be getting you 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway, right? Again, that's only going to be for the duration of this stream. I'll probably run it maybe like 5:05. Maybe 5:05 we'll probably do it then. Just because, again, to make up a little bit for the late start for today. Which, again, do apologize for that. But yes. I'm going to go ahead and begin this randomization process. I have the list right here with me of everyone that was participating in this little raffle, this little bonus raffle that we got going on right now. Hold on. 1 second. Why is it not opening? Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up. I don't know why Excel on this computer consistently gives me problems with this. I have no idea why. Give me 1 second. I'm going to be right back. But in the meantime, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I am, of course, referring to the shopping spree giveaway. I'm going to leave the link to the rules in the live chat for all you guys to see. There you go. Again, this was for a little giveaway that we had that was hosted exclusively on our Discord server for 2 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. All you have to do is follow a set of simple instructions on the Discord server by a certain time frame, and you are in for the raffle. So let's go ahead and begin that process. But again, I'm just going to go ahead and forward the list to myself again, because for whatever reason, Excel on this computer is constantly giving me problems. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Give me 10 seconds. And we're back. And we're back. Sorry, just have to go ahead and get that list real quick for us to go ahead and begin the randomization process. Cool. I'm glad to see that a few people actually did indeed participate in this. Again, love to see it when the promotions are actually being taken advantage of. I'm going to put them all into random.org. Here's the list of everyone that participated. Right, again, we got a few familiar faces on here. I love to see it. Again, you guys are, there's no limitation on how many times you can win, right? So there we go. Again, I love to see all the repeats here and some new people getting involved as well. I love it when new people are getting involved in these giveaways as well. These little extra promotions we like to do. Okay, so here's how it's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and randomize the dice roll. How many times am I going to randomize it? We're going to be rolling the dice exactly, let's see, 5, 6 times. 6 times we're going to be randomizing it. So, again, we're going to figure out who's going to be getting those extra entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Again, this was just for 2 free entries. Literally all you had to do on Sunday was just be there on the Discord server and put down what products you would like to get from Airsoft GI. Putting down the links there. And that was pretty much it. That was literally pretty much it. All you had to do, right? But we were running it for till what? The end of Sunday, like midnight, and that was it. So, again, you always got to make sure that you are on the Discord server as well. So we're going to be doing it 6 times. Let's go ahead and just get this bad boy underway. All right, sweet. Let's go ahead and randomize. There we go. That's number 1. It's number 1. It's number, come on. Freaking, why is this mouse not working? 2. That's number 2. We've only done it twice. And 3. This is the 3rd one. We've done it 3 times. We're halfway there. We are halfway there. Number 4. This is number 5, and we only need one more time. The winner of the Discord Extra Entries giveaway is going to be, let's see, which username is going to pull up on top? DavidBot117. Hopefully DavidBot's watching right now because you just got yourself 2 free entries into the shopping spree giveaway, DavidBot. Again, congratulations, my guy. You are going to be getting those 2 entries. And who knows? Those could be the very 2 entries that end up giving you the dub for this week's guaranteed shopping spree giveaway. Because like the name suggests, it's guaranteed. Someone is going to be walking away with $1,000, and it can literally go to anyone. It could literally be anyone. It could be you just placing an order for an airsoft gun, or it could be the guy that just placed an order for a $20 gift card. It literally, we have no control over it. We have no control over who the winner could be, and it can literally go to anyone. All right, so make sure to go ahead and get those orders in now, again, because that's another way you can still get your entries in. Of course, any $20 or greater order automatically gets you an entry into the dub, no questions asked about it, right? However, every $50 you spend during the duration of the stream, we're going to close out in like 20 minutes. Yeah, we'll do 20 more minutes, and then that'll be it. About 20 minutes when we close out, that'll be the end of this promotion. So get those orders in now while you guys can. If you guys don't know what to get, I'm going to highly recommend that you get yourself a couple of different things, including the greatest Airsoft starter package. We are selling out quite quickly of these bad boys, especially because of all of our newer players that are getting involved in this. I don't know if you can see, there are so many that are sold out right now. I think majority of them are, but we are getting more in. More are actually on the way. So we saw how popular they were because these things fucking sold quick, man. These things sold fast, and I'm glad for it. I am indeed glad for it. I'm also going to recommend that you get yourself the 2024 Platinum Hot Releases mystery box. That'll easily get you 15 chances of winning. Right, 15 entries. It's a lot of entries. That's a lot of entries, right? Also, a lot of classic Army stuff right now if you go under Airsoft AEGs, which reminds me, we have a new category available on the site as well. If you check up under Airsoft guns. Go under Airsoft guns, go under AEGs. We have a new selection, or I guess category, available for everyone to view, which is going to be referred to as top AEGs under $200, right? This was specifically made because we saw how positively people were responding to, our videos regarding how to get into Airsoft. That was actually a short that we did too, where it was how to get into Airsoft under $200, right? That definitely seemed to pique a lot of people's interests. So we actually came together with a big old list of different guns that we're putting on here. Right now it's still in the work. We're still putting more stuff on here, but we have Arcturuses, Lancer Tacticals, some more classic armies are going to be added on here as well. Again, guns that are going to typically cost you less than $200 that will save you a lot of money. Again, there's going to be our picks for what we think are the best options. Not every gun under $200 is going to find itself on this list. Just guns that we genuinely really think are really good and that are worth their time and money. Right, so I'm going to highly recommend that you guys check those out as well. In fact, a lot of these are actually also going to be discounted too. I'm just saying, a lot of discounts going on right now, including up to what was it? Up to 20% off Lance Tactical Pro Line Series specifically, up to 20% off Classic Army, right? Up to 10% off Tactical Gear, 10% up to 20% off, my apologies, parts as well. So if you were looking to go ahead and build out your airsoft gun, start upgrading some stuff, there you go. 10% off popular airsoft gun brands. Right, that's gonna be another one as well. Magazines, BBs, batteries, gas, your essentials, 10% off as well. There's a lot of good shit here. There's a lot of good stuff which you guys could be saving up on, but it's up to you if you guys want to go ahead and take it. I'm gonna strongly suggest you do, so that way you have that chance of winning that $1,000 prize pot. Another thing too, just a few days, in like what, 2 more days? Yeah, like about estimated 2 more days, we should be receiving our next shipment of the Tandem Cross Cthulhu's. The Tandem Cross Cthulhu's are an absolute no-brainer, especially if you guys were interested in the APO1. And you want to save yourself all the time and the headache and the money on upgrading. Because let's be real, most guys that I know that own AAPO1s, if they don't do some outrageous kit for it, they're going to end up making their gun look like this. They're going to end up spending like over $200 making their gun look like this when you can get this one for $150, right? You can literally get this for $150. And this is an easy 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. It's actually $149.99, but yeah, you can get yourself the 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. No problem, man. That's easy. That's no problem whatsoever. Again, plenty of discounted items which you guys are going to want to take advantage of now while you guys can. Speaking of which, one second. Hold on. There we go. Computer's a little slow. Computer's a little low. Another one too that I wanted to go ahead and new stuff as well, right? Pistol. Go under new products. I want to show you guys as well. Actually, let's do airsoft combos. Yeah, these should show up as well. We actually, considering how well the freaking like greatest starter package we're doing, we also have one that's available for pistols as well. The greatest insert pistol name here starter kits are also going to be available as well. Again, these are going to be using a lot of Golden Eagle JG pistols, which actually pretty solid. We've done a lot of testing on these, and we were actually pretty impressed with what you get, especially considering majority of them are going to be just slightly under $100. Now, these kits, that price is literally what you see there. These are going to be discounted all right now to $99. Airsoft gun, airsoft pistol, which again, take a look at this one. TM Spec High Kappa. You can build this out if you wanted to. Or you can leave it completely stock if you prefer. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day because this is good to play with as is, whether you are playing in your backyard or if you wanted to carry this to like maybe an indoor field. Load up on extra magazines. You're good to go. BBs, green gas, going to come included as well. You have your choice. But again, they are all of them across the board are going to be only going for $99, which, I'm going to be real, that's an insane price. If you were looking to get into gas blowbacks, right, you wanted to get yourself a nice little pistol, but you really weren't too sure where to get one, or where to save some money on one, this is definitely a way to do it. Oh man, this is definitely an easy way to do it, considering how much money you are saving in the long run. Now, actually, there was some things that I want to... Oh, hello. The co-host is here with me to join us as well. Okay, so this is a news update live stream, which we go over some of the newest happenings in the airsoft world. And this one, while it is technically speaking not specifically targeted towards airsoft per se, this is still something that is important that we do actually talk about. I don't know if you guys have been seeing recently, but Daniel Defense and Activision right now are in a little bit of, I don't say hot water, but essentially there is some legal action that is being taken against them right now. They are being hit with a lawsuit as of right now for marketing their products, or at least Daniel Defense products, in their video games towards younger audiences and younger children. Now, this is seems kind of strange of a kind of a topic to be talking about, especially for airsoft, but it actually does affect airsoft in a pretty big way. But first and foremost, let's call it what it is. This is very much another argument that the media does like to go out and sell it for. Hey, does violence cause, does video games, does like any of this sort of media cause violence in people? And the short answer is no. But I mean, I want to hear your thoughts on cases like this, or this case in particular. What you think?
So it's not just in video games, but just clarifying what Isaiah said earlier. Daniel Defense, and I believe Facebook or Meta. Let's say
Meta.
Yeah, Meta and Activision. Yeah, they're all being sued right now by a large lawsuit for basically marketing. Yeah, marketing firearms and firearms related content to young people. And yeah, I mean, I agree with you. At the end of the day, it just boils down to the same old argument, the very boomer argument of like, yeah, do do like violent video games and movies and media, does it encourage violence, and the rule of violence? So it's still very surprising as to how
This is still a thing that's being
it's still
talked
a
about.
thing. Yeah, I mean there are studies that are done about it, and they usually conclude by saying no. But hey, I mean there's money to be made, so why not?
I think at the end of the day, like it's important also to like realize that while they are being hit with this lawsuit. This is there. I don't believe that there's going to be any sort of like this isn't going to be like being even carried to trial. Like it doesn't even matter, right? I don't even think it is. If anything, this is just another attack on a company like Danny Defense, right? Just in order to hurt the business at the end of the day, right? Because that's the ultimate goal. It seems like.
Yeah, so it's yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, like you have like your lobbyists and people that they have their agenda. Like I don't want to get like political or anything.
Oh, of course, of course.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's pretty obvious that they just want to see big companies hurt. And Dow Defense is one of the larger firearms manufacturers in the U.S. So yeah, they just want to see them hurt. So basically, how does that affect us airsofters? Well, basically, I guess the reason why we're talking about it and is because how it's going to affect airsoft. So as far as we know, I don't think Activision has ever officially used a Daniel Defense like product or a license per se.
Like they've
for
had
Raiden.
similar like looking accessories there, but
They haven't. Yeah. So like I don't believe ever like playing Call of Duty or any Activision title was like, oh, like use the Daniel Defense M4. Definitely there are guns that kind of look like a Daniel Defense, So I think that's the reason why Activision is being lumped in here. So if that is the case, and if this thing ultimately, if the lawsuit goes through and the plaintiffs, the people suing Activision Daniel Defense, if they win, then it will set a very dangerous precedent for us airsofters because whether they're going to be officially licensed Nano Defense products or any firearms licensed products or lookalikes.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the term that always scares me. Any sort of lookalike or resemblance or like clone or copy, anything like that or replica, that opens up the floodgates for me, honestly, and that's what's concerning. Because if they're going after anything like on the basis of, oh, well, it looks like it, well, then you can make that argument about any gun period that it all looks like the real thing because that's kind of the whole thing with airsoft that it meant to replicate like the real thing, at least the look anyway. The operation is going to be different depending on the model, but that is a big concern for us. But I also think it's kind of no matter how you look at it, yes, by just looking at it through a common sense lens, it definitely seems like it's a pretty stupid argument because you could apply the same thing towards literally anything else.
Yeah, like for example, let's say someone wanted to sue Rockstar Games, let's say, and Nissan, let's say, because they're like, oh, like in Grand Theft Auto 5, there's a car that kind of looks like, let's say, like the Nissan GTR, and like so basically Nissan and Rockstar Games, they're encouraging young people they're glorifying criminal behavior. They're encouraging like car theft and reckless driving and this and that, and like armed crime with the Nissan GTR.
Or it's like, just street racing with these types of cars, right?
It's like the same thing, yeah, or basically, like let's say like Need for Speed, like, oh, like we're gonna sue Need for Speed and EA Games for presenting, I don't know,
BMW M3, because remember that one?
BMW,
Most Wanted.
BMW M3 or like the Porsche 911. They're featuring these products, so it's encouraging kids to recklessly drive and do street racing and stuff like so it could be said for the same thing. It just so happened to be firearms because that's like the hot button issue culturally in the U.S. right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, it has been for some time. And again, regardless of where you lie on the political spectrum, it really doesn't matter because if you find yourself like enjoying airsoft or you are an avid airsofter, this is going to pretty much open up the floodgates as well. It does have the potential to, as well, where it ends up coming to, okay, well now everything that looks like it, that's a big like topic of concern. And some similar cases like this have come up as well. Again, what's ultimately probably going to end up happening, right? Because there were similar cases that's happened in the past. Take Bushmaster incident, right? That one was a big one where it ended in a settlement between what was it, Bushmaster versus?
I think it's the victims of Sandy Hook.
Yeah, it was Sandy Hook. I just didn't know the actual, but yeah, right. That happened as well. where it's like, okay, cool, there was a settlement that was paid out. They're going to look at that and say, okay, Daniel Defense, you need to go ahead and pay us a settlement now, right? It's just a matter of hurting the business as itself so that it's no longer profitable to be in operation. It seems like that's sort of the biggest thing.
No, but it has very little to do. Well, that I think has very little to do with airsoft. The thing that will affect us directly in the long run is the fact that they're saying, okay, like, uh, Nano Defense, your products, or whether they're licensed or lookalikes, they are being marketed towards young people and influencing them negatively. So you are now ordered to withdraw or take down anything that you guys license, or you guys, if there's any other lookalikes, you have to shut that down. So hey, that's like 80% of airsoft M4s out there right now.
Anything considered lookalike, that's
Yeah.
literally the majority of the airsoft market.
But then it goes beyond just Nano Defense. It'll be every firearms manufacturer that an airsoft replica like exists of. That'll be the precedent. It's like, oh, like, Nano Defense, they got sued and they got ruled this way. So now we have to follow that rule. So I think that's like the scariest outcome is, yeah, if it completely goes one sided that way, then we're probably not going to be able to see any future licensing of airsoft guns, or even just like lookalikes. They're going to be really cracked down on as well in the U.S., which is again very scary.
Yeah, because just think like we sell like several different, like, I don't want to say replicas, right? I mean, airsoft guns, right, that are obviously based off of real things, but even officially licensed ones as well. Like your HK 416s, for example. How long before, again, where they go after Dan Defense before they start going after individuals? It's like, hey, HK, right?
Well, once that gets ruled, uh, other companies are gonna want to not catch a lawsuit, so they're just gonna immediately be like, oh, like Daniel Defense got hit, okay, like for example, like HK, like Umarex, they'll be okay, like we're gonna stop selling HK 416s. Sorry, you can't make those anymore, and so we're not gonna have any more like Umarex 416. It's gonna be like a domino effect where pretty much everyone who has licensed products or lookalikes out there, they're going to be like, hey, like we need to really throttle the licensing. We need to really throttle the even just like unlicensed lookalikes. We need to come after them because there's just going to be more of a reason for potential lawsuits to open up. Does that make sense? So they're going to make an example out of Nano Defense, and then everyone else is just going to have to like bend the knee basically.
Well, it is really. I also didn't even think about how this would affect video game like as well. I mean, granted, guns in like video games have been around for a very, very, very long time, right? But I can imagine where if they make an example out of Daniel Defense, I can imagine where it's like maybe other companies just wouldn't want to make anything that looks anything like what you would see in the real world as well, which kind of sucks because that's kind of the appeal with video games.
Yeah, so that might play a factor. Yeah, where like for example, let's say like Call of Duty, like they might not be able to like make like a lookalike that looks kind of like an MCX or a lookalike of just any M4 for that matter. Because they might be hit with like cease and desist and whatnot from gun companies, like, hey, we don't want to get sued like Nano Defense.
Yeah.
Like this gun that you like designed or whatever in video game, it looks a lot like our product. Like we need that gone because we don't want to get sued. I mean that, and Activision is embroiled in that lawsuit, so Activision already just might get the memo. Hey, we can't we can't make any models in a video game that look like real firearms. We can't do that anymore. And then on top of that, like it's not just Activision. Then it'll be like every other major publisher out there. They're gonna see what happened to Activision. It's like, oh shoot, they had to pay like hundreds of millions of dollars. Like we can't afford that. And then they're gonna also follow suit. So
there's no motivation there at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's worst case scenario. Like my personal opinion, I don't think it's gonna end up that way.
Lady Boner, so stock up on all licensed Daniel Defense airsoft replicas now.
I mean, I wouldn't even say just licensed. Like I said, like if it's a worst case scenario thing, then it's not just going to be the licensed ones. It's going to be even just like the unlicensed, like lookalikes that are out there. Yeah.
Which, if you got to think about it, all airsoft, well, for the majority, a lot of airsoft, I'll say, a lot of the airsoft market, a lot of guns that you find out there are based on an actual thing, whether they're officially licensed or not. They are similar enough. You can definitely make a case where, hey, this one M4 looks like this real M4 that exists out there. It is kind of a slippery slope, but you can see that would definitely take place. But going by that logic anyway, right? Anything could be considered a lookalike.
But I think the harsh reality is, I think what maybe a lot of us don't really think about too much as airsofters is airsoft and real firearms. The real firearms community, industry, and the airsoft industry and community were actually very interlinked in America. And so, generally, when people look at us like airsoft players, someone who's not into airsoft, they're gonna already have their own judgments about you. They're gonna draw their own conclusions about you. In fact, I think Vice News actually they were filming a documentary when we about airsofters when we and Isaias and some of the GI guys we were attending a Milsom West event and
Off the deep end.
yeah the series Off the Deep End. This is not an endorsement to go watch it. I personally have a vendetta against Vice News, but they they were out there and I immediately as I saw and I heard the news that Vice was there, I like bristled up because I knew that they already had their own opinions about us and they were going to spin it in a way that like
notions. They were looking for something to confirm their
and
biases.
in that documentary they did they did kind of like try in a way to like spin interview questions about like how it is related to actual like firearms and the firearm community, you know, and everything that goes along with that. And so I immediately as Vice showed up, I told our teammates, I told Isaias, hey, like if they ask us for an interview, don't show your face, don't talk on camera because like we don't really know. We don't really know exactly
what type of questions they're going to ask where it's like a loaded question.
Look, you know, how they will portray us. So, I mean, watching the documentary, like it seemed neutral for the most part.
Yeah, but they did have a positive spin at the end to their credit.
Yeah. But they did try at some point. I remember they did try to like insinuate or lump us into like the real firearms community, which again, it just goes to show in America how interlinked we are.
Not only that, they also did try at certain points, if you watch the documentary again, like they did try to lump, you know, everyone else there. Because let's be real, like what we do is kind of the extreme, you know, very appropriately the deep end of airsoft, but they did try at certain points to try to lump us in with other, or at least mention that there were other airsoft groups out there that are a little, I won't name them because I don't want to give attention to them, that are linked to a lot of extreme, like legit extremist groups, which, yeah, I get can happen, but majority of airsofters aren't like that at the end of the day. And I see what you're saying. They did have their own preconceived biases and they're looking for bias confirmation, and thankfully they didn't really get it. And they did have a positive spin on it, but you just never know, man. Like again, they came in like looking for interviews, right? And we just were like, all right, just be on your best behavior. Don't give this a bad name because we don't want to go out and give airsoft a bad name at all, or give a bad impression.
Yeah, but I guess my larger point is as of right now, it really seems like there's not much we can do. But I guess in a direct sense, but I think the what we need to do in the long term, I think is bigger. It's a bigger impact. Is like us as a community, right? Like how do we portray ourselves? How do we carry ourselves? You know, like I get so upset and I get so angry when I look at YouTube and I see how like airsoft players will misrepresent the community. You know, whether it's being irresponsible or being like a bad sportsman. You know, not having like the correct etiquette. You know. Things
frustrating.
Like it's really angry because it makes me angry because it doesn't do us any favors as to like how society will view, you know, airsoft and also how they view people who play airsoft, which, you know, like being a part of the community for about like 15, 16, 17 years, like I don't really know how long exactly years I've been.
You lost track.
Yeah. But, you know, I can genuinely say like there are genuinely really good people, you know, in the community and we all, you know, want to have fun. And I think for the most part, I think airsoft is beneficial because it helps people treat real firearms seriously.
Yeah.
You know,
obviously, like airsoft in and itself, like there are differences between, you know, how you would handle an airsoft gun, you know, with a real firearm. Obviously, there are differences in the way it works, but a lot of people do like to, and ourselves included, will always encourage that, hey, if you are trying to get into firearms, maybe airsoft is a great introduction into it, and it does teach some good habits as long as you keep those in mind.
So like as an airsoft player, like even for me, I'm very intentional as to like how I carry myself off and on the airsoft field. You know, like I want, well, first of all, like I want people to know that airsoft is a hobby and it's really fun. You know, it's not always 100% serious, obviously, but but I want to behave and I want to act in a way that uh, that encourages people outside of the community to respect us. Like, oh, like they like these guys, they play airsoft, like it's cool. Like they play with, like, replica firearms, and you know what, they seem like they know what they're doing. They're playing it safe. They're being courteous, they're not being, like, immature about it. Like, oh wow, like that's a cool hobby. I wonder if, like, I might want to try to play airsoft, yeah, one day. Like that's the opinion that I would like for most people to have. And so that's how I try to conduct myself. Because growing up, obviously, like, from my own, like, family and people around me, that they know I play airsoft, they're like, oh, like, like that's like, oh, that's so, like, stupid, you're just like playing pretend war, which it is.
I got the
yeah,
same thing. I
yeah,
understand.
it is. Oh, you should do the real thing. And I'm like, yeah, you want me to? And they're like, no, don't do it. So,
Bet, say less.
yeah. So at the end of the day, like, I think from when I was a kid to now, I think airsoft has definitely taken off to a point where people kind of have a good idea of what it is.
Yeah.
But I think us as a community as a whole, we all together, we need to work on having overall society kind of like accept it for what it is, and give it respect. But that requires us to conduct ourselves in a respectful manner.
Yeah, no matter how, again, it does not matter what side of the political spectrum you are, what your views are. At the end of the day, if you play airsoft, that is going to be ultimately reflective not just on airsoft itself, but also on the firearms community, and vice versa as well.
So like, like whenever we, like, promote or we talk about or we post up videos about, like, oh, like so and so, like, got into a fight with the ref at the airsoft field, or like, oh, so and so mag dump whatever, and so, like, if someone is really on the fence about, like, oh, like, does something like airsoft, like, promote violent behavior, like,
they're gonna look at this.
What conclusion would they draw? Yeah, when they look at
It's
that,
only natural that they're going to assume that, again, this is encouraging violent behavior. It encourages like maybe assholish tendencies, and who knows what else, right? Again, that's just giving more ammunition to the side that would love nothing more than to go ahead and just do away with either firearms or even airsoft as a whole altogether.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay. All right. So let's answer some comments here.
I think it won't help the argument that you guys have said before, letting law enforcement have similar groups use airsoft replicas for training. He's saying that might also be used as a counter argument too, like against white airsoft and lookalikes, or
Yeah, but but the thing is, at the end of the day, like, they just happen to use that as a tool. Like, law enforcement just use airsoft guns as a tool for training, because it's non-lethal. So I mean, like, law enforcement units, they use sometimes they use, like, laser guns. Like in a similar way like laser tag works. So they'll just use whatever to help them train. But and then Prime Tech also says, do people forget that Facebook, Activision games, and Dana Defense are age restricted?
Example, ESP rating,
18-year-old verification, etc. Yeah, but
I feel like we live in, again, like this.
I'm not sure how well that will hold up in court, but I mean, you're right.
Yeah, Tank speaking, he's right. Again, rating systems do exist right there, but it's also like one of those things where it's like, yeah, as much as I want to be able to say, like, hey, it's common sense. If you don't want your kid if that's genuine as a parent what you believe, then don't let your kid play that. Like, we're expecting people to, like, be held accountable for their decisions, and I feel like to an extent that's not really going to hold up that well.
Yeah, so might as well say NASCAR induces road rage. Well, I mean, yeah, but I guess from what I'm saying is, like, if you look at some of the most popular, like, YouTube videos about airsoft, it's pretty negative. It doesn't. I don't think it portrays the community in a positive light.
No, it does not. It portrays it, if anything, it kind of discourages people not only from joining, but just it all seems kind of strangely, weirdly violent.
Yeah. So I guess all I'm saying is that for everyone watching, and I'm sure all of you guys who are watching are already doing this, but just kind of encouraging once again, it's just, when we're off and on when we're on the field, and also when we're off the field, like, we really need to continue to examine and be intentional about how we carry and portray ourselves and represent ourselves to other people, because at the end of the day, for the people that know that you play airsoft, like, they will have their preconceived notions of you, and so it is up to us to help. I don't want to say, like, change that, or it's up to us to kind of give them, like, a correct or more accurate portrayal of who we are.
I would say you can change it. Obviously, like you're not going out of your way per se to do that. You know, you're not trying to, brainwash anyone. But the idea is just again, like Boas said, making sure that people's perception of what airsofter and by that notion, what a firearms owner might be or a firearms enthusiast is like again that whole interaction that you have with them, how you present yourself, how you conduct yourself on off the field. That's going to be very much looked at, with a magnifying glass to an extent, right? That can very well be a thing because how you act can really affect the entire community as a whole. So just words of advice, I would say, in general, we're going to keep staying up to date with what might be going on with this. With this lawsuit, we'll try to keep you guys up to date as well, and I would encourage everyone to do their own research as well, just so that they are aware of what's going on around them in general. I think that's just good life advice as a whole. And then again, just conduct yourselves in a manner that looks professional, is kind, is courteous, and is not going to give anyone any form of like ammunition against you.
Yeah. So, sorry to end it on a very bleak note.
No, it's not.
but
There's
yeah.
some hope. There's some hope.
Yeah.
I'll say there is definitely hope
Yeah.
out there. Again, like you said, we've been doing a good job.
There's a lot of speculation out right now because lawsuits take forever.
Yeah.
So, hey, I mean, at the end of the day, we can guarantee one winner of any lawsuit. It's the lawyers.
That's the lawyer.
So-
The lawyers will always be on
Yeah,
top.
yeah, the house always wins. So you
Truth
know,
is, the game was rigged from the start.
yeah. So it's gonna be a while, obviously, but we'll definitely try to help keep you guys up to date on what's going on in that situation, and we are really crossing our fingers. But in the meantime, yeah, the best we can do is, continue to be great, continue to be awesome, guys. Let people know what's happening. Spread awareness, and keep conducting yourself in a manner that brings respect, that puts respect on the airsoft community.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that's going to be the end of the live stream. Again, apologies for the late start. Again, the meeting went a little longer than we had anticipated, but big shout out to everyone that stayed with us, and big shout out to everyone that placed their orders during the duration of this stream. You guys are getting those extra entries into the shopping spree giveaway. This week, it's guaranteed, meaning someone is guaranteed walking home with $1,000, and it can be you. You can still get your entries in. You got to get those orders in before it's too late. My name is Isaias.